From the studios in San Diego, California, this is Mix Up Sports on mixedupsports.com, powered by twitch.tv. Here on this Football Friday, it's the 8th day of 2016. My name is Frank Marchese, Cruiser Ryan to my left, Nick Sexton to my right. Boys, how you doing today?
Doing great.
As I said, it is a Football Friday just before Wild Card Week in the NFL, but there are some other things we do want to get to today. And we will do that in the open here, starting with the MLB Hall of Fame inductions that were announced yesterday. Ken Griffey Jr. getting a record 99.3% of the vote, has been inducted into the Hall of Fame. He'll go in as a Seattle Mariner. And Mike Piazza, on his fourth ballot, will become just the second New York Met inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, first position player.
Congratulations to both the players. They both played well during the season, but specifically, you know, Griffey Jr. here, just alone with his career in the in Seattle, 11 MLB seasons with 10 All-Star appearances and 10 Gold Gloves, and an MVP award just to go along with that. The man was a stud. And, congratulations to them both again, and it's quite an accomplishment.
It's one of those it's one of those things where, as far as at least Griffey's concerned, it would have been an insult if he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, and a lot of people were expecting him to go in unanimously. And with him, the thing was the 99.3. That is that's out of 250 votes. He got 247 of those 250 votes. So whoever those three people were, uh, really, you guys need your head examined, because Griffey is a perfect example of a first ballot Hall of Famer.
No, without doubt.
Um, the NFL Hall of Fame, that is also up this week. The voting is up this week to see who will get into Canton. Looking through right now, Brett Favre and Terrell Owens highlight the finalists uh, for for it. Morton Anderson is also on their kicker. Morton Anderson is one of the finalists.
As a voter,
Pardon me. Steve Atwater, safety, is among the finalists. Don Croyle, coach. Terrell Davis, running back. Tony Dungy is on the list. Brett Favre, Kevin Green, Marvin Harrison is on the list. Edgar and James. There's a Kurt Warner also. A lot of guys on that list who are definitely deserving of Canton, if not this year, coming up very soon.
Brett Favre playing for the Packers, we still have a lot of love for him, and at the same time, some of us may be still a little bit bitter about him leaving. But hey, as a organization, we are all proud of as far how far he's come, and just to see him make it into the NFL Hall of Fame is a big a big huge accomplishment for any player. We just talked about MLB Hall of Fame and how any kid's dream would be there. Well, some of these guys, this was their dream going up as a kid, and just to see them all have a chance of getting at it, more all accomplishments for them, and hope that hey, if they get in, they get in. Good for them. Are we having technical difficulties?
Pardon me. We go from the NF. We go from a career-long accomplishment to a season-long accomplishment. Both the NHL and the NBA All-Star players were announced yesterday. A couple of head scratchers, especially coming out of the Eastern Conference. I don't think any surprise. Kobe Bryant, the leading point getter in his final season with 1.262 million votes. The next closest one to him was Stephen Curry at 925,000. The next closest to Curry was LeBron at 636,000. So there were definitely some discrepancies there. Western Conference: Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Kawhi Leonard, Blake Griffin, Anthony Davis, Tim Duncan, Zaza Pachulia, DeMarcus Cousins, Enes Kanter, LaMarcus Aldridge, Dwight Howard, Dirk Nowitzki, DeAndre Jordan, Harrison Barnes. The forwards for the West. The guards coming out of the West: Stephen Curry, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, Klay Thompson, James Harden, Rajon Rondo, Andre Iguodala, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Damian Lillard. As far as I'm concerned, there's really I don't see any reason to doubt any of the decisions that were made as far as the Western Conference.
And well, to go along with that, a lot of the names on there, they are big, big time names who definitely deserve it this year. Um, I I have a couple of questions as far as Kobe Bryant. Is this sympathy for him being his last season, or do they honestly think he deserves it? And him being an all time great, he definitely deserves to be up. He definitely deserves it. So all good job to all of them, and what an exciting game it'll be come February.
You did get a little ahead of me there. As we'll go, as I'll announce the Eastern Conference. LeBron James, Paul George, Andre Drummond, Carmelo Anthony, Pau Gasol, Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, Hassan Whiteside, Kristaps Porzingis, the rookie, making his All-Star debut. I'm not going to hurt myself trying to pronounce his name. Giannis Antip, the small forward from Milwaukee. Jonas Valanciunas, Marcin Gortat, Joakim Noah, DeMarie Carroll from Toronto, and Paul Millsaps make up the front court for the East. Kyrie Irving, Dwayne Wade, Kyrie Irving, Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, John Wall, DeMar DeRozan, Derrick Rose, Jeremy Lin, Isaiah Thomas, and Reggie Jackson. Kyrie has played what, 5 games this year? Has played what, 8 games this year, 9 games this year? For him to get 271,000 votes, to me, is honestly a joke. And I don't watch Charlotte enough to know that Jeremy Lin should be an all-star. But I haven't heard a peep out of him since he left New York. That and what is Derrick Rose doing in the All-Star game? It doesn't make sense to me.
It's the whole Jeremy Lin thing. He's not a bad player. Granted, he was more recognized, Lin sanity in New York. But since then, he's been a decent backup guard. He hasn't done much for the team overall. But like you said, with the whole Kyrie Irving thing, is it a Cleveland Cavalier thing where if you're on the team, you're one of the big three with LeBron James and Kevin Love there. Do you get all the votes?
It,
It's I don't know. I think like you had stated earlier, it's a popularity vote, and if the kids know you, if the people who watch sports, they want someone to go to, they go to the guy they know, and apparently that's Kyrie Irving.
and don't get me wrong, Kyrie is a great player, but he played 8 games this season. It's absurd that he got the second most points, the second most votes out of guards. He played 8 games.
There's a lot more names on there who should have gone above him, like Kyle Lowry. You got John Wall.
Lowry's on there.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that should have been above him. If you're saying that he went second in what guard lists?
Yep, second on the guard
Yeah,
list.
there's a whole bunch of other guards in the East who have played more and who have proven to be all-star ability just this season alone. Granted, what he's done these last couple seasons and in his time in the league so far, yeah, he's a great player. Don't like you said, don't get me wrong about that. But there's so many guards this season who deserve it to be higher on the list than him.
Second on the Eastern Conference guard list. He would have been fourth on the Western list. He would have been between Chris Paul and Klay Thomas, which is an absolute joke. And like I said, you guys, I don't know if you guys really do, but I don't. I honestly don't have a problem with Kobe Bryant making it in, getting 1.3 million votes. Kobe is a once in a generation player. We have another one of those in LeBron James right now, and the next generation is going to be filled with Stephen Curry. It is a once in a generation player. I have absolutely zero problem with Kobe Bryant getting this kind of send off. I have absolutely no problem with it. To the ice, the NHL All Stars were announced, and the way they listed them by division. So coming out of the Atlantic Division, out of the Boston Bruins, Patrice Bergeron made it. Yaromir Jagr, Uncle Leo Komarov, Dylan Larkin, Ryan O'Reilly, Steven Stamkos, Aaron Ekblad, Erik Karlsson, PK Subban, making it. Ben Bishop and Roberto Luongo out of the Atlantic Division, making it. Out of the Central Division in the Western Conference, Jamie Benn, Matt Duchene, Patrick Kane, Tyler Seguin, Vladimir Tarasenko, Jonathan Toews, Dustin Byfuglien, Roman Josi, Shea Weber, Devin Dubnyk, Pekka Rinne, making it. Out of the Eastern Conference Metropolitan Division, Nicholas Backstrom makes it. Claude Giroux, Evgeny Malkin, Alexander Ovechkin, Brandon Saad, John Tavares making it for the New York Islanders, Justin Falk, Chris Letang, Ryan McDonough, Braden Holtby, and Corey Schneider. The Pacific Division out west, Johnny Gaudreau, Taylor Hall, Joe Pavelski, Corey Perry, John Scott, Daniel Sedin, Brent Burns, Drew Doughty, Mark Giordano, Jonathan Quick, and a guy who we watched out here in San Diego on opening night for the San Diego Gulls in the minor leagues, John Gibson, goaltender for the Anaheim Ducks, makes it to his first All-Star game after starting the year in the minor leagues.
It's gotta give much love to him. The fact that we watched him in person, we've been rooting for him, and there's actually a couple guys we've been rooting for. The fact that they playing so well, but just the fact that his first season directly out of the minor leagues. Well, not even first season, but him to get out of there this season and still be an all-star. All the love towards him, and congrats.
But I definitely want you to notice a couple of names. There were a couple of big names that were not there. Carey Price, goaltender for Montreal, he's been hurt this season, so he's he'd be in limbo as far as that goes. Henrik Lundqvist for the New York Rangers. I understand he hasn't played as well, and the Rangers are in a bit of a tail slide right now. Lundqvist missed the All Star game, and I think the biggest omission is Sidney Crosby, the best player in the league,
Yeah.
not on the All Star team.
Yeah, it's as far as that's concerned, those are big names that you just listed off, and they're all great players. Whether or not they're having a slow season, still is no right to not have them in the league. We just talked about NBA being a popularity vote, whereas this, it seems as if you have a
Is the exact opposite.
yeah, it seems as if you go from, if you have just a slight decline, it's it's you don't make it, and it's sad to say, but I wish more leagues were like this, where they put stats and skill above popularity.
People who
So
actually deserve it.
yeah, exactly. So
I'm happy Tavares made it. That's really all I care about. I'm happy with that. But I am extremely proud to see that John Gibson made it. I mean, Gibby has played so well this year in the minor leagues. He's come up to the NHL. He's done exactly what the Ducks have asked him to do with Frederick Anderson coming up a little lame this year. The Ducks themselves coming up a little lame this year. Corey Perry, another Duck that made it on the team. But just looking at Gibson's numbers this season, American kid out of Pittsburgh. He's played 16 games for the Ducks, 8-5 with 2 overtime losses and 4 shutouts. 4 shutouts in 16 games. That means he's going out there every 4th night and shutting the opponent out, including the last 2 games of 2015 against Calgary and Edmonton. He stopped a total of 35 shots in both of those games, both of them shutouts.
yeah, it's funny that other NHL goalies that have been in the league a lot longer than him are doing a whole lot less than him. So a heartfelt congrats sent his way. Just seeing the boy that we watched in the minor league do his thing, and now in the major leagues doing his thing even more. So congrats.
From AHL San Diego Gull to NHL All-Star in one season. Fantastic. Congratulations, John Gibson. When we come back, we're going to give it to you, all the NFL you could handle when we return. Analysis on all 4 games that we will see this weekend.